This is our CD library, which has been built over the years.
Scott Smith has been working at this small radio station in Monterey, Virginia for over a decade. He started as a news producer and is now the general manager of Allegheny Mountain Radio.
We give news, information, entertainment, weather reports, school closures, emergency alerts. We do lost and found pet notices. We do funeral announcements. We're very hyper-local, and we all share a common passion and a common pride for being here to provide those things for the community.
It's 1:16. We have 82 degrees and partly sunny skies.
Allegheny Mountain Radio is made up of 3 stations covering parts of Virginia and West Virginia. It offers vital information for the communities it broadcasts to, but that might change soon. Up to 65% of the radio's annual budget comes from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. With CPB effectively shutting down after losing federal funding, this radio station might soon share that fate.
What we'll be doing this coming year is sort of a transition year. We'll see where we can cut additional costs. We'll see if we can find additional forms of revenue, and we'll see where we stand at the end of this year and move ahead. Again, none of us are of the opinion that we're going to roll over and let this happen without a fight.
A fight that Scott is not battling alone. In nearby Bath County, we meet Danny Cardwell, the station coordinator from WCHG Radio that also belongs to the Allegheny Mountain Radio Cooperative.
NPR and PBS are going to be fine in their own ways. Will they look the same a couple years from now than they do now? Maybe not, but their existence will be solidified. They have products, they have productions, they have revenue streams that smaller stations just do not have.
After accusing NPR and PBS of spreading radical woke propaganda disguised as news, President Trump signed an executive order ending taxpayer subsidies to the 2 organizations. Congress later passed the cuts requested by Trump, despite warnings from some of its members.
We're not just putting PBS at risk here, we're putting millions of Americans who depend on local media for life-saving information. And what's in this rescission request is really making sure that public broadcasters don't have that ability, at least in 20 states where they have emergency plans.
Life-saving information also needed in the small communities where Allegheny Mountain Radio broadcasts, and where phone service is not always a given.
If the Wi-Fi doesn't work, my phone, the little things disappear and it says SOS on it, which means I cannot receive phone calls and I cannot make phone calls. So what ends up happening is the first thing we do is we tune into the radio to see, is there something happening in the area that we should be aware of? You can't get on Facebook if you don't have Wi-Fi. So that would be our only source of getting any communication and anything.
Scott is trying to educate the community about why public media is important and can be life-saving, but he's not sure their support will be enough to prevent a shutdown.
It would be a very, very sad thing if this station or any station were to be lost because of this, but I'm very afraid that that's going to happen. So.